Hello and welcome to the Elemental Entrepreneurship Podcast. The elements are a metaphor, a simple organizational system to help us understand business and ourselves as business owners. And they are the components of nature, the roots of magic, and the building blocks of life. We all have some aspects of life and business where we thrive and others that are more challenging. By looking at these things elementally, we remove shame and judgment and can discern which elements would help us bring ourselves into balance. Earth, root chakra, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Earth rules the parts of business that keep us safe and secure as we do our soul work. Sustainability, finances, contracts, systems, our core values, and clarity about exactly what our medicine is and how we fit into the ecosystem are governed by Earth element. Air, heart and third eye chakra, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Air rules our big vision, our ultimate picture of success. It's where we connect our medicine to a mission and decide what kind of impact we want to create during our time on this planet. Water, sacral chakra, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is the realm of our emotions, and business is emotional. How we feel about people, ourselves, visibility, uncertainty, how we handle stress and disappointment, all of this and more affects how you navigate your business. Water element is where we learn to resource ourselves and expand our capacity to hold the big feelings that come with doing our work in the world. Fire, solar plexus chakra, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Fire is where we take our gifts, our uniqueness, and our creations, and we blaze them out into the world. All things selling, marketing, and the day-to-day actions of running our business are ruled by fire. Too much fire and we burn out. Not enough and our business never makes it off the ground. And spirit, crown chakra. Every good gardener knows the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. Spirit rules the faith required to keep tending your business long before you've seen a single sprout of evidence that it's growing. No matter what you believe in, spirit element is what you travel through after you leap and before you land. Life thrives when all of the elements are in balance. So do you, and so will your business. To find out your dominant element, take our quiz at intuitiveedgecoaching.com/quiz. Now let's get into today's episode. Hello and welcome to the Elemental Entrepreneurship Podcast. I'm your host, Cera, and today on the show, I am so genuinely excited. I have to come up with other adjectives because I always say I'm excited, but I really, really am. Because today on the show, I am bringing you none other than Crystal the Oracle. Crystal the Oracle is an intuitive development coach, somatic trauma therapist, speaker, and the queen of potions. And for real, the queen, honey, I am slathered in Crystal's potions underneath this outfit. And I always am if I'm on camera or going public. So that's how you know. She is a firm believer in the transformative power of trying new things, platonic cuddles, everyday indulgences, and anointing with potions. Known for her authenticity, deep insights, and a unique gift for teaching, she is on a mission to reconnect the world to the wisdom that is inherent in us all. She resides in Charlotte, North Carolina, where you will most likely find her in a robe, having a snacky snack, and being mama to her 3 magical littles. Crystal the Oracle, thank you for being here.
Yay, thank you for having me.
And I'm not kidding. Anytime I go live, anytime I'm on video, anytime I'm going to share something with the public, I have allow and reciprocity and protection on.
Oh, what a combo, right?
Sometimes ease. But yeah, I always have a little
I love the allow reciprocity combo, right? Because it's allowing yourself to be seen fully and allowing that to be received and reciprocated. I love that combo. That's so
Isn't that a nice one for, I'm like, yeah, if I'm going to go live, if I'm going to give, if I'm going to share in public, I want that to flow easily, but I also want it to land on people who are excited to share back.
And it says so much about you, right? Not for anything, because you can do any intention you want with a potion combo. But for you to say, here is me giving my heart and serving my people, I'm going to allow, right? And rest and allow them to reciprocate. I mean, it would be it would be equally dope if you were like, every time I go live, I have on snake oil and emerge and magnetism and currency. You know what I mean? But it says so much about you that the intention is so heartfelt and heart open and like
I just
about
got
being
teary-eyed.
human. Oh
Thank
my
you. I
gosh.
see that.
Because it would have been just fine for you to be like, emerge magnetism currency, give it to me, bad boss bitch, all that stuff. But oh, I don't know. What's your audience? Can I say boss bitch?
Oh yeah, we can cuss on the show. It's
Okay, fine.
yeah. Don't have your kids listen to the show. Or I mean you can. I'm not telling you how to parent. Definitely do it. We talk about wild shit on this show.
Okay.
So, I mean, we already started talking about potions, but for the people who might be newer to you and your work, talk a little bit about potions. I would also love to hear how you feel that potions are different than condition oils. Oh, wait. Before we do, the girls will be mad if you don't share your big three and your human design type and authority if you know it, because they want to know.
Oh my gosh. I am an Aries sun, a Cancer moon, and a Leo rising.
Ooh.
I know. And my Venus is in
Oh.
Gemini and my Mars is in Taurus. So it's interesting because this Aries Sun Leo rising combo makes everybody just see me as just ferocious and
But you're
tough
so
and get it,
sensitive.
and I am. But my Cancer Moon just wants everyone to climb in my lap, and I'm gonna spoon feed you ice cream out of the pint, and we're gonna be deeply in love, and I'm gonna like take care of you. So I'm very, very nurturing.
But also with that Gemini Venus, you're like, until tomorrow when I'm bored. Bye.
Didn't mean to get called out, but you know what I'm saying. I
Also,
saw I
like,
saw this meme that was like, air Venuses don't want to love the same person every day. And I'm like, I'm not even the same person every day. What are you talking
there you
about?
go. That's really the
And
thing.
for human design, I am a 2/4 pure sacral generator.
Hmm.
I am, and I love this.
Yeah.
I love being a generator too, because if you are really into human design, everybody's like, I want to be a manifestor. I want to be rare, rare, rare. Mm-mm. And
We
if
have
you're
the
a
easiest, we
generator,
have the easiest strategy.
oh,
Like once
mm,
you get it, because it takes a while, because it's countercultural to like listen to your gut. But I have one best friend who's a projector and another who's a reflector, and they can't do shit. I'll be like, "What do we want for dinner?" And she's like, "We cannot wait a moon cycle for me to decide what's for dinner. Like, just tell me where to go." Like
right.
my
I love
my
that.
projector friend will call me and she's like, "Can I borrow your sacral authority? I need to sound things out. I need to just talk for a long time." They're like, "I have like 3 hours a day that I can do anything." Work things, life things. I get a window and then I just need to stare at a wall. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
yeah,
gosh,
thank
it's
God
so
for my yes, no.
I love having that motor that lets me just go and do the things that I absolutely love. I can get stuck in on, so I'm trying to like learn balance, but I get stuck in on doing things that I absolutely adore. So, I'm not
Yeah.
upset about that.
And then when I have emotional authority people in my life, the idea that you're only 75 to 80% sure of things is really challenging because we're so taught that like you need to be sure before you make a decision. And I'm like, oh, you'll never be sure of anything, unfortunately.
You'll never be sure.
Unfortunately, you don't get that.
That's so hard. But yes, you were asking me about potions.
Potions. Yes, let's talk potions.
So, potions are active magic. I love to say potions make things happen fast, crystals help them last.
Ooh.
So, if people are crystal people, they're used to inviting crystals in their life to conduct the energy in a certain way. So, if you want to invite more unconditional love of yourself and others, you bring rose quartz in. If you want to invite more healing, you bring clear quartz in. But I'm sure there are people with large collections of crystals that are like, I don't know that my life is really energying the way that I want it to energy. And it's because crystals they're not active magic, they're passive magic, whereas potions are liquid, they're viscous.
Mm.
Think of the electricity that comes from like running water. um water being like a crazy conductor of energy, right? Like you don't want to put your hair dryer in the bathtub because that's really really bad, right? And so
An
potions
adventure you only have once.
exactly. It's not a mistake you can make. So potions are that. They're active magic. When you anoint yourself with potions, and we're not even going to talk about the energy of your palm chakra, how it connects to your heart chakra, how you're creating a circuit whenever you're using your palm to anoint yourself. There's layers of electromagnetism involved in why potions work so well. But that's how potions are different than crystals. They're active magic. You pick it up, you agree to the intention, you apply it to your body, and it shifts. There are shifts that happen in people's lives. That's why they like potions.
Yeah. And then how do you feel that potions are different than conditioned oils?
So I'm not a big semantics person. So I'm okay with you calling it a potion. I'm okay if you are in like hoodoo, like House of Hoodoo. She calls hers conditioned oils. That's fine. Um, if you want to call it an anointing oil because you're coming out of like certain religious traditions, that's fine too. I'm just happy that you're applying the oil to your skin and changing your life. I define a potion as liquid plus intention.
Mm.
So I find that most people that find my actual like potions to use were already potions people. They were already the people who just stood beside the ocean and could feel more connection to source, right? They're already the people who go in the shower to like cry or release, right? Because the water, they're already ritual bath people. They're already people who like have their water and their coffee and their Gatorade. You know what I mean? Like they are connecting to not just liquid, but like infusing all the liquids in their life with intention. They probably love body butters and they probably care how their shampoo smells. And people are like, isn't everybody like that? No, only potion people are like that. So you're a potion person if you have a really amazing relationship to your shower and it is like your safe space, or like you love bodies of water, or you like looking at the rain, because liquid plus intention equals potion. And then those people find like magic potions that were made with blessed oil from the new moon that were like each element infused with its own, and then their lives just go like it's different. It's different. They're like, oh yeah, this is my vibe right here.
Yeah. How did you start making potions? And also, I want to just say, I want to chime in with the reason that I asked this question is because if you were to look at a bottle of one of Crystal's potions and you didn't know that she called them a potion, you'd be like, oh, it's a conditioner or it's an oil. And I also think that's important because I think for some people, if you just say potions, they expect them maybe to not smell good. Potion for some
Mm.
people evokes smelly, right? They're like, oh, this is going to be like unpleasant but good for you type of magic, like cod liver oil type of situation.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, or that like the base liquid could be anything. And these are all like these like delicious smelling oils that make
mhm.
your skin feel so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I do say all the time, I have to remind myself, potion are perfect, but all mine smells so good. I don't formulate any potion for it to smell good. So we're just grateful that they do. I am very clairvoyant. So typically I will see a potion and then I'll just have to ask, like, what is that? What am I looking at? Like I remember in Worthy Oil, there's a safety pin that talks about like pulling safety. And I'm like, what am I in Joy Potion? There's pink curling ribbon for celebration, the energy of celebration. So most of the time I see the potion and I have to decipher what's inside. And then I'm clairaudient. So then I hear the olfactory elements.
Mm.
And when I put them together, thankfully, they all have smelled literally amazing.
They all
And
smell so good.
the base of the potions are sunflower and grapeseed oil, but it's because of the elements of those oils. Sunflower infusing joy, optimism, the way the energy of a sunflower is constantly turning toward the sun, Um, grapeseed oil really being about facilitating pressing and what happens next and all the layers of usefulness that come from the grapeseed, right? So that's the base of the potions. But they're fun and they're luxurious, and people collect them. They love them. There are people with like 20 potions, and then they go off and they start making custom potions, which is something I offer. Um, but as far as potions are concerned, what makes them different than conditioned oils? I think it's semantics, right? I think when you have liquid plus intention, you're dealing with a potion. If that's not what they call it in your tradition, that's fine. Call it whatever you want to call it. I don't care about
Just put
that.
them on.
Just put it on. Just change your life.
And how did you start well, and this is an interesting kind of crossover question because you're also a trauma therapist,
Yeah. Hmm.
which is, that could be a very buttoned up role depending on how you take that. And then also you went to a bazillion years of school. And so blending that with owning and recognizing your spiritual gifts and bringing those in, what was that journey like? How did that happen?
So my background is actually in corporate change management, people ops, instructional design. And my name is Crystal. I went on this journey to find Crystal. Actually, when my daughter was born, she's 8 now. And that's when I first became a lithomancer, which means divination through crystals. Crystals talk to me. And I actually started, my name is Crystal. I was selling crystals, and I was doing crystal readings, like doing readings for people. And then people were like, well, I want to read my own crystals. I was like, okay, cool. And so then I started my program, Oracle U. I started teaching people intuitive development, how to listen to their intuition and that kind of thing. And I graduated a amazing class of intuitives. That first class of Oracle U, I mean, they knew their higher self. They could write petitions. They could send dissonant energy back to source. They could do all of the things, but they were still feeling stuck. And I was like, Source, you've got to tell me why they're feeling stuck. Like, I don't understand. Like, they know everything there is to know. And Source was like, somatic. And I hadn't even heard that word. So I like Google the word, just still being clairaudient. I Google the word, and then the certification actually happened that next week. It started that next week. So I was like, I'm going to do this. And I realized that how your intuition comes through your five senses, right? Your trauma responses also come through your five senses. And so these people, while they were very powerful intuitives, unless you have that nervous system regulation piece, you really can't uh, act on the promptings of your intuition. That's how those two things go together. The question you asked me was, how did I get started with potions? I'm a Georgia girl. I come from my great great grandmother was institutionalized for carrying around a human head in a basket. My grandma could throw knives. You know what I mean? Like I come from a line of like black women workers, right? And so I grew up getting anointed with oil, anointing my head, anointing my feet. And so when I started saying, I want to grow my business, like I want more of an audience, like I want more, you know what I mean? I started making potions to grow my business for selling crystals and teaching. And so I was using the potions to change my life and then teaching the different thing. And I'm like, I was divorced. This is a long story. Got divorced, and then was on a dating app. And the guy was like, "What is it that you do?" Like, what? And I told him, and he was like, "What? Like crystals? Like oil? Like what? Like you're a snake oil salesman?" And I was like, "Ew! Like okay, done with you." But then I
Yeah,
was
first of
like,
all, we're breaking up. Our
first
first
of
date
all,
is our last date.
first of all, this conversation's going nowhere. Secondly, I was like, a snake oil. I wonder if I could do that because potions were a part of my personal practice. I was like, I wonder if I could make a snake oil. So made myself the first Python transformation oil, and then everything changed. Everything changed so fast, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And so then I started selling snake oil, and snake oil
Isn't
just
it
turned.
funny how that guy turned out to be a blessing? Like you should send him a thank you card. Be like,
I mean, I'm a Gemini Venus. I don't remember his name, but
we're like, oh, you thought you were throwing shade and I turned it into a check. Have a nice day.
We are not the same.
This
There
is
are
this is
plenty
what
of
happens when you date witches.
but then everybody that I was just gifting snake oils, everybody, people moved, their relationships shifted, their businesses took off. Like snake oil was like the first, and I was like, I'm gonna put this out. And so I put snake oil out. And then what ended up happening was the people that were using snake oil was like, well, can I have an oil for this? Can I have an oil for that? The entire library of potions was built in that way. People requesting magic, and I would channel the magic and then make it available to everybody. And now there's 22 potions and a secret menu, and you can make a custom, and
You have a
it's so
secret
fun.
menu. I love that so much. You're like Starbucks in and out secret menu.
There's a secret menu. I mean, if you know, you know, but
What's on the secret menu? Can you tell us? I know it won't be a secret if you tell us. Can you give us
One of
one
my there's
example?
a lot of potions. There's a lot on the secret menu. There's a potion for every chakra on the secret menu. A lot of people don't know that. So if you are having if you want to heal from sexual trauma or just like the sacral potions goes crazy. The root potion, amazing. I use root with worthy almost always. So there's a chakra potion. There's another potion on the secret menu called there's two. There's one called held, which I really, really love. It is like ease and worthy and like reparenting in a potion, like inner child healing in a potion, which is great. There's one called persona if you're having a hard time like um reaching or imagining your authentic self,
Mhm.
deciding, creating an authentic self. Persona, I see people like whoosh, they just come into themselves. So that's really fun. But there's a lot. And in November we do potion mist and I publish the secret menu. So people go like
Oh,
get
that's
stuff.
really fun. I love this so much.
Yeah.
How long has your business been the focused on potions?
Not long at all. We're talking about maybe 8 months that I've been focused on potions.
Wow.
Right. So what ended up happening, and this is what alignment will do for you. 8 months ago, I would say my social media account, well, I wouldn't say it was small, but it was not large or like it is now, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm selling these crystals, but everyone's asking me for potions. I'm just gonna go all in on potions. We redesigned the website. We took like 150 items that I had on my website off, and it was like, we're going to be here, you can get learning, you can get potions, you can invite me to speak, but that's what the website's going to be focused on. And I think like obviously it was a really great decision, but the light bulb went off when I was like, I'm clearancing all of my crystals, they're like 50% off, and people were still buying potions full price because they're like, this is what's changing my life, like this is moving things. Do you have a potion for this? Do you have a potion for that? So it's really fun. Now we have a potion for basically everything. Like a lot of
Wow.
really beautiful potions.
This is so important. How long were you in business focused on crystals? And kind of like, you don't have to say numbers, but kind of like, what were the results of that? And then what happened when you switched your focus?
So I did two things at one time that I think is really important. One of those things was I was in a relationship with someone who I think had an invisibility cloak. Like it was just a lot simpler to like not be seen for their comfort. And I didn't realize that was affecting my business. But then I realized I gotta get out of that situation, and the inspiration to just focus on me, on the magic that I create, on the magic that people can only get from me because there's so many beautiful places to get crystals. So I made that decision, and literally my business five times itself.
This is
Those
such
two
a
decisions.
This is a fantastic segue because one of the things we said we were going to talk about is inspired action and inspired action and manifestation. And I think frequently, if people are thinking about inspired action, they're thinking about things they need to add and things they need to do more of. But
Mhm.
sometimes the most inspired action is things you need to cut and things you need to take away.
Come on. Come on, Oracle.
So let's talk about it.
So what I think everybody learned about the law of attraction, right? The Secret came out, everybody learned about the law of attraction. I actually have a book coming out, 12 Laws of the Universe. So we're talking about one of the things that I really, really love. Okay, so everybody learned about the law of attraction, but then we didn't learn about any other law. And we didn't realize that there's the law that comes after the law of attraction is the law of correspondence, which means if you feel like you're in the law of attraction and you're letting the present be perfect and you're extracting the lessons and you're, maintaining your point of attraction, right? The next thing the universe is going to present to you is called the law of correspondence, which means you're going to see how your point of attraction is reflected in your life, right? And most people stop there. They're like, I learned about the law of attraction and nothing's working the way I wanted it. It's not quite attracting, right? And then they're like, this stuff doesn't work. They don't realize the law of correspondence is what they're seeing. They're going, well, I don't like this, and I don't like that. They thought the law of attraction, to your point, was just going to be all the things they wanted. But they didn't realize the law of correspondence was going to show them what they were really attracting into their life, right? And the next law after the law of correspondence is the law of inspired action. So you take inspired action in relationship to the correspondence the universe is giving you about your point of attraction. And the law after that is the law of compensation. So we don't realize how they just flow right into each other. But what happens is we can't take those inspired actions sometimes because our nervous system is in fight, flight, or freeze, right? And so if you don't know how to recognize that the correspondence you're getting from the universe and the correspondence you're getting from your own body, then you get stuck and you don't take those inspired actions. And then you never get to compensation or the laws that are giving us the things that we're after. So
I love this so much. I also have full body tingles because sometimes where you're like, oh, this is like a person I've never spoken to before. We have clearly some of the same influences and some of the same teaching and some of the same training, and we came to similar ideas and named them different things. But it's always like when I see stuff like that, or I'll read something, or I'll see a YouTube video where I'm like, this is what I say, but I've been saying it in this other way. It feels like such a confirmation that that we're all alive at the same time, coming to the same messages and sharing them is not an accident. And I love those moments and I get so tingly. And the correspondence piece is really interesting. The way that I've taught this is that after the law of attraction is the law of expectation. And the idea that you are trying to attract something, especially from a conscious place, but you haven't looked at, but my expectation is that nothing ever works out for me.
Hey entrepreneur, I don't care what stage of business you're in, if you're doing it alone, you're doing it wrong. We need people. We need people in our corner. We need outside eyes. We need someone to go to. We need that in case of emergency break glass person that we can call when we're stuck or frustrated or overwhelmed, when we aren't sure what move to make, or when we just want to celebrate our accomplishments. We need the right people on our team. No one who has ever built a big, successful business does it alone. You should not be trying to do it all alone. You need people in your corner because owning and running a business might be one of the hardest things you ever do. And most people in your life simply won't be able to relate or guide you if they've never done what you're trying to do. Ideally, I'd like to see you in one-on-one coaching so that I can really be a partner to you behind the scenes in the day-to-day of your business and walk alongside you through every season, every stage, even into the nitty-gritty details. But if you're not ready for that, at the very least, I want you to get into the Elemental Entrepreneurship Coven. Elemental Entrepreneurship Coven is the #1 resource you need for success as a heart-centered creative entrepreneur. There is truly nothing else like it on the market. It's a hybrid of courses, group coaching, a mastermind, and a brilliant, supportive community all in one. Joining the Coven will connect you to teaching and tools designed to guide you through every single step of building and scaling your business to 6 figures. No more questioning what to do all by yourself. No more buying random one-off courses on different topics and trying to patchwork it all together. Every single topic you need is covered. We're talking from legal structure to contracts to branding to marketing to product development, launching, you name it, it's in here. Can you imagine never having to buy another course again because you've already got it all under one roof? And if you need something, you can just search it and find it. That alone is worth the investment. But you also get access to bi-weekly, high-impact live group coaching sessions with me, ongoing workshops with guest experts, and our private Facebook group so that you can stop doing business alone. And you should. An Elemental Entrepreneurship Coven is one amazing way that you can do that. Go to intuitiveedgecoaching.com/coven, COVEN, to join today. And as a special thank you for being a listener to the pod, simply enter the code podcast on any checkout page for 11% off your first 3 months of membership at any level. That's intuitiveedgecoaching.com/coven and enter the code podcast at checkout. I can't wait to help you grow your business so that you can make a bigger impact, help more people, share your gifts with a larger audience, and make the money you deserve to be making for your gifts, skills, and talents. But most of all, I want to see you so confident and so self-assured that you are just as talented at running a business as you are at the thing you do. And that is within reach when you join the Coven. So I can't wait to see you inside. Let's get back to the show.
My expectation is all the men I meet let me down. My expectation is I'm never as well compensated as the other people in my field. And that if you're not addressing what you expect to be the outcome of the things you attract, that then it will change the actions you take. And I always called it the law of massive action versus inspired action, but I love inspired.
I love that. I love that. There are 3 parts of the law of attraction that I teach, but one of them is called the present is always perfect. And that really sometimes because the present doesn't often feel perfect. But like you are to your point, the law of expectation. Can you look at the present, exactly what it is, decide it's perfect, and then create expectation based on that? Right? Decide, okay, this thing that I'm in is exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I'm supposed to be learning something. Like, where is it? Let me extract this lesson so I can get on to the other laws, right? I think that's so key. And then it gives you fuel to take that inspired action because what happens is if your expectations are aligned with something that you don't want, then why are you going to move forward into that? You're not. You're going to feel stuck. So I love that.
And I think that what you said about the nervous system is so important. And what's coming up for me is that this is like making me emotional, but it's like I'm sure we work with really similar people. Like I work with people who are so talented and so brilliant and have so much to offer. And first of all, don't know it. And then second of all, are so hard on themselves.
Oh my God.
And so they get into this place that they feel like the action they have to take is the action they think they see other people taking, or the action it may be a perfectly reasonable first step for someone else with a different life experience in a different body, but it's not the right first step for you. And getting into this thing of like, but if I can't take that action, if I can't do the live, start the LLC, call the person and set the boundary, if I can't do that, then I can't do anything and I'm failing. And now what I have to grapple with is like my shame and my guilt and all of this stuff, where it's like the correct inspired action for you might be, I keep getting the signal that I'm too dysregulated to do the things I need to do. So my first action needs to be get some help for my nervous system. That's
Right.
the first action, right? Like sometimes the first action is open Google and search the word. Like it's not like you're like, oh, what you're thinking of is actually like the 10th action and beating
Mhm.
yourself up because you're not that far along yet. And like just the grace and the compassion of the present is perfect brings you to like, well, where I'm at right now today is that the idea of doing this thing makes me want to throw up and flee the country. So let me deal with that. Let's
Well,
start
it's
there.
interesting because one of the things I say a lot in coaching is it a problem or is it the process? Is this a problem or is this the process? Because I think what happens is, especially in this social media age where it looks like everybody, like I was looking at a video of myself from 5 years ago when like 30 people were talking, listening to me talk, right? Like nobody sees that part of the process, right? And so when they run into that part of the process, they call it a problem because it's supposed to work and it's supposed to, and I'm supposed to, and it's like, whoa, like if you're baking a cake, is cracking the eggs a barrier or is that part of the process, right? You got an egg here, you want a cake, crack it into the flour and the sugar, the butter, cream that shit together so you can get it moving, get it baking, you know what I mean? And so I think we get stuck because a lot of times we have unrealistic expectations of what it means to be a magical human, right? I'd made a post yesterday where I was like, I've been really seeing a lot of success using my energy to move things in my
I
life.
saw that one. It was so cute.
And everybody was waiting for that magic, that moment, that thing that's going to be like, huh? And it's pick up your hand and move it. The root word of manifest is mani, meaning hand. Use it's inspired action, it's use your hands. Because can you move things in the energy? Yes, absolutely. I'm probably one of the most powerful energy workers I know. But there's energy and then there's matter, there's solidness. And if you're using energy to move solid things along, it's going to take so much more work and so much longer than just moving the daggone thing with your hand. So,
No, it's so important. And it's touching on something that I think about a lot when I'm working with business owners. And there's so much that goes into this, right? As you said, social media. And also, I think, unfortunately, like the online business coaching industry really like thrives on promising people that there's going to be a fast answer. And something I've been talking about a lot is that, first of all, a lot of the big names in the business coaching industry, this is a tangent I didn't think I was going to get on, but I'm going to speak on it. I'm just going to say it. A lot of the big names in the business coaching industry came
yeah.
from network marketing, and a lot of them were Beachbody people. A lot of the same tactics we see in business coach marketing are diet culture marketing, which are promising you a quick, fast, easy for something we know full well there is no quick, fast, easy for.
Come
There is
on.
not one magic thing that's going to make you have a six-figure business in 3 weeks or a weekend or like it doesn't work that way. And even these people with these huge accounts, they built their accounts selling diet products and then switched to business. They didn't build this platform teaching business. Like it's even they're not real. It's not that's
Yeah.
not real. These before and after pictures of like yesterday I was sitting at home with no business and then today I'm on a yacht with a Birkin are not real. It's not real. So like getting sold into this idea that if I post something today and I'm not a millionaire tomorrow, I'm failing and I must be doing it wrong. It's like we've done everyone such a disservice through this messaging.
Hmm.
And then like people come to someone like you and me and we're like, "Hey, so you want to know how you make money in your business? Like you sell stuff. You're going to have to sell something." I'm sorry. I'm sorry, there's not a fancier answer. You know how you build an audience? You post stuff. And I'm
God
sorry.
bless you, so
There's
busy.
not a
And I tell people, like, two things come to mind. The first thing is the definition of trauma is when an experience comes to you too much, too fast, too early, right? The like self-sabotage is when you get what you asked for and it throws your nervous system into fight or flight. You have to build your window of tolerance for the success that you're after. One of my potions is called Ready Oil. It's the only chronomancy potion I've got. I don't mess with chronomancy typically. I don't do a whole lot with my own Ready Oil. But you have to be, as if you want to skip the timeline and get it fast, you need to be as ready to release it as you are to receive it, because there were things you were supposed to learn along the way to prepare you to be a person who could hold what you're asking for. So even if you can successfully skip it, when you get there, you're at a disadvantage. So you might as well move along in the process, right? But one of the things that I said recently that, a lot of people resonated with was, you're not healing to be able to handle more trauma. You're used to trauma. You're healing to handle joy. And I think what happens is these people see these promises and they don't realize, like, even when you see somebody very successful, you have to realize they went through a lot of processing to get to that place. And if we try to just skip over it, when you get there, you're just simply not ready for it. You're just not.
And this is something that's like so important because I'm sure you know these people too. I know people who have had an offer or a post go unexpectedly viral and it crushed them or their business. Like I knew someone with a physical product business that like went super viral on TikTok. They woke up to over $1 million in sale on a handmade product that they were making from their kitchen, which meant people were waiting 6 months to a year for their offer, which meant they started getting bad reviews and people were complaining. People were going to the Better Business Bureau. Your first thing out the gate, it got too big too fast. And so it's like you got the thing everyone thinks they want and realized why that isn't great. Or people are like, I want to go viral and build an audience. And you go look at their account and you're like, I can't tell what you do or what you sell. So this post goes viral and that might be probably dysregulating, but maybe fun. But then like you can't monetize that because you're not actually prepared to convert those views into customer. Like you're not, if you just get dropped off on top of the mountain, you're just gonna pass out from what's it called?
Yeah.
From the elevation. Like climbing the mountain is actually where you build the capacity to be
Come
up there.
on. Come
That's what
on.
it is. There's no way around it.
That is so good. Yeah, that's something that Source said to me recently. That 90% of manifestation is preparation. Because if you get what you want before you're ready for it and you lose it, that's the greatest suffering, right? So because Source is for it, often things that we're asking for literally get delayed until we're ready for it, because the disappointment of getting what you wanted and not being able to steward it is almost too much to bear. So
Crushing.
I love that.
And I think it also, what you just said goes back to the present is perfect and also faith that you are always being divinely like guided and protected. And I think a lot about like our like source, our spirit guides being like, a parent to a toddler who's trying to eat something that's like, gonna hurt them, and you're like, I have to like hold you back from this thing, and I know you're screaming and crying and kicking because you want this so bad, because you don't understand that this is not for you. Can't drink my wine. Like this is
Right.
not gonna be good for you. Like you can't eat the super spicy pepper. I know you don't understand why,
Right.
but you have to trust that like I'm guiding you and protecting you because I know that this is what's right. And so often I think people, let me speak for myself. I don't know what other people are doing, but I'll tell you that for me, there was a lot of time where I was doing spiritual work and I thought that that meant that I had faith,
Mm.
but I didn't actually trust anything except my own hustle.
Come on.
I didn't actually trust that I was being protected, that I was being guided, that like that the universe only has three answers for us, and it's like yes, not yet, or I have something better for you. That there's something that can see a bigger picture, and that I'm only experiencing the small range of spectrum of colors that I can see. I don't see everything, and I really wanted this thing, but if I'm not getting it, it must be because it was not going to be the right thing for me. It was going to send me in the wrong direction. I'm not ready for this thing yet, and it was going to crumble me, and there's more work I need to do. having that, like the first time I had a moment where I was experiencing first of all, where I realized I was a very powerful manifestor, and also where I realized I had to be more careful with my spells because I was really working on my money stuff. And I kept saying, I just want to be able to have a month where something goes wrong with my car and I have an expensive vet trip and it doesn't like send me into panic. And I didn't realize what I was asking for was a month where something went wrong with my car and I had an expensive vet trip. So I was like standing in the vet's office making the decision to have to like let go of my dog, like snot, tears, crying, so calm. And I was like, I didn't realize that when I was asking for everything in my life that was holding me back to be cleared away, that it would also take away things I think I like. And that like this is what I was asking for, not in the shape that I wanted it to come, because the things that are right and good for me don't always look like the things that are comfortable and keep me exactly where I am. And I was like, oh, like my faith just came online. My ability to be in the eye of the storm and be like, this is exactly what it's supposed to be, and there's a reason for it. And it's like super painful and uncomfortable, but this is happening genuinely for me, and this is life happening through me, and this is where I'm supposed to be. I think I was like 15 years deep into my spiritual practice before I like really had that click of like, my personal disappointment is not proof that I've been abandoned.
Woo, come on. I'm about to pass the collection plate.
Oh, I knew this was going to be a good talk. I'm so excited that you're here.
I'm just sitting here like amen corner over here, rocking like a Baptist deaconess.
But yeah, there's like that thing about faith and about believing that not getting the thing that you're asking for or manifesting is guidance.
Yeah.
Is information.
It's information. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the information isn't you suck and life is hard.
That is exactly correct. And understanding that a lot of times we think success is proof of our faith, but oftentimes doubt is the proof of your faith. Because it's the law of polarity, right? The opposite of faith is doubt. And so the existence of doubt is the proof that faith is there. So I think knowing that, and when you're standing in those moments of like doubt, like, wait a minute, is this real? Am I doing it right? Like the way my life looks, again, law of correspondence, like the way my life looks is not a reflection. Like, is it working? Is it, oh wait, it is only faith that have and magic and in the benevolence of the universe that has allowed me to be disappointed and doubtful right now. So lean in to that faith. Okay, well, source, I have an expectation that my life is going to look differently than it looks. So you and I together got to make this happen, because this ain't going to work for much longer. And I think when you get there, like that's where you are really starting to cook with grease.
I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
What I also think about with inspired action, this is like really funny to me, and this might be like a joke that you have to be a certain age to get, or like you have to listen to NPR. But I like the universe is not Ed McMahon and the Publishers Clearinghouse. It's the dollar for dollar challenge on NPR. So you can be sitting at home and it's going to ring your doorbell and give you everything. But when you're listening to like like when you're listening to the pledge drive on NPR and they're like, somebody is going to give us $5,000 if we raise $5,000 in this hour, right? Like the universe is going to match your donation. So if you're putting in effort, it's like, okay, you're serious. I'm going to match you. I'm going to meet you where you are in this effort space. But if you're sitting at home making vision boards, it's probably not going to ring your doorbell. Probably not.
Also understanding, like, okay, so, you just turned the teacher on. Okay. So like, if you I had bought a little seedling, right? And I put it in a big pot and was waiting for it. I was like, well, I don't want to see anything happening. When you have a really tall plant, a really tall tree, the roots have to fill the pot before the plant puts any energy at all, because it has to have enough roots to support what it is.
You have to grow down before you can grow up.
Right? So all of us are like, why don't, and there's some of us that we know we've done the work, we know we have the magic, we know we have the gift, but we feel like our promises are delayed. It's like, if you feel like your promises are delayed, it might just be that you are a really big tree that needs really big roots and are in a really big pot. And all those smaller house plants around you, maybe you see them springing up faster, but a lot of times it's that you are a really big tree, so your roots have to really, really grow, right? It's that knowledge. Like, if the universe is going to meet you halfway and you don't feel like the universe is meeting you halfway, you
You're
have
probably not halfway.
way.
I love somebody.
The distance that the universe is taking you is further than you originally imagined. So halfway is further than you thought it would be, right? Keep going. Like, if you're looking at your life and you say, why me? I always tell people the universe owes you a this is why. It owes you oh, this is why, right? So just keep moving until you can look around and go, oh my goodness, this is why. This is why I got on the dating app and that narcissistic jerk called me a snake oil salesman, because of the, hundreds of testimonials I have about what snake oil has done for their life. This is why. You know what I mean? So, ooh, girl.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Everyone, if you're not like hooting and hollering in your car or in your kitchen or wherever you're watching or listening to this, something's like, I don't know, turn up the volume louder because the
Give
gems,
yourself a little praise break. That's fine.
the gems. I hope everyone listening to this is, that's right, in the car.
So good. Yes. And it's interesting because there's spiritually bypassing. I know life is hard. I know all of these things, and people are like, "Well, what if none of this is real? Like, what if I'm doing none of this?" It's like, but listen, if you get to the end of your life and none of this is real, and we get into the energy and none of this was real, this is a really fun way to live. It's a really beautiful way to look at life, and the people that I meet in my belief, right, and in my magic are like the best people on earth. So.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I think, right, there's something about the choice to romanticize your own life, right? Like choosing to live in magic and synchronicity. You can believe that everything is a completely random coincidence and that, the person that you ran into at the coffee shop today that you just happened to like chat with, who just happens to have a business that solves the exact problem that you were just telling your mom in the car that you had on your way to the coffee shop. You can believe that just like the universe is pure chaotic randomness and that there's no connection to anything. It sounds dry. It sounds like a dry way to live. It just sounds dry. Like it's just dry toast with no butter. Like there's nothing on it. There's no honey. There's no, right? Like choosing to see magic, choosing to get excited by repeating numbers or to believe that the bird that you see or the butterfly that you see is your grandmother with you, right? Like these little things that we can do, that we can choose to just make life more fun. Like it's not hurting anybody. It's
Yeah.
not
And honestly, both things exist,
yeah.
right? Both things exist. And I teach this a lot. There's always a magical and a mundane explanation for literally everything. Nothing happens in the earth but through matter, people, substance, right? And so we are like, well, you know, I spilled, like, I told the story that, like, I was rushing out of the door. I spilled my coffee everywhere. And I'm like, oh, Crystal, you're such a klutz. You spilled your coffee everywhere. I clean up the coffee. I get in my car, pull out my garage, go to the main road. There's a 3-car pileup right here. And I'm like, did I just spill the coffee because I'm clumsy and was rushing? Or did I spill the coffee because I needed this not to be involved in this particular, you know what I mean? And
Yep.
so you can then at that point you can lean into either explanation. You can just be a klutz or you can be divinely protected. Both things are true at the same time. What makes us magical is that we notice what we notice and we seek to prove ourselves right. We seek to prove ourselves magical. And if I'm going to get into the somatics of it and like the biomechanics of it, In your brain, you have something called a reticular activating system. Our brains can only process 0.004% of the information that's coming into us. It deletes and distorts the rest. And so the reticular activating system in your brain makes you pay attention to the things that are important to you. That's why two people can be at the same party, see totally different things, because your brain is pointing you to the things that are most important for you. And I'm like, if that's not magic, I don't know what is, right? So you can explain things in all the ways. That's why I love being a somatic trauma therapist, because I can teach, the quantum physics and the biomechanics of the magic that we're doing. And we can go like, oh my goodness, this is like the electromagnetic field of our bodies that we're playing in. You can call it a vibe or an aura if you want, but it's you can measure it with science that we've got these fields outside of us that we're operating in. So I
I'm so
think it's so
glad that you brought
fascinating.
it to the quantum realm, because that's what I was thinking as you were talking, is like there is, if you want to go into the quantum reality explanation of it, like there's nothing that we're experiencing outside of what we're experiencing. Right? It's all just what we're saying it is. And this doesn't just go into magic. I think this is something that I deal with clients all the time, is we are walking around with this like weird sponge between our ears that's constantly just designed to tell stories and make meaning. Like that is our core directive, is tell stories and make meaning. And if we're just going to tell stories and make meaning about everything all the time, why not choose the story that makes me feel good? Why do I choose the story that hurts my feelings? Why do I choose the story that makes me the victim? Why do I choose the story that is like, this person doesn't like me, as opposed to like, I wonder if they dropped their phone in the toilet. Like, that's why they didn't text me back. Even something as simple as, I live in LA now. I'm from the Bay Area. I live in LA. My dad came to visit and he was complaining about LA drivers and how they like swerve around and they're speeding. And I was like, well, Dad, this is a place people come to follow their dreams. And so when people are speeding past me on the freeway, I'm just like, I hope you booked that audition. Like, I hope you get that. And then when I'm on city streets and people are like rushing and they like race you to get to the light and they go around you, I'm just like, you have explosive diarrhea and you're trying to get to a bathroom as quickly as you can, or like you're going to pee on yourself. And I hope that you get there fast. Let me make room for you, because I know what that's like to be in your car almost home and you have to pee so bad. I hope you make it. And
That is
like,
hard.
it's easier. It makes my life easier
Well,
to not get mad.
we ask the question, why do people choose the story um, that doesn't make them feel the best? And it's because that's the story that makes them feel the safest.
Yeah.
You're always serving yourself. You're not beating yourself up. You're always serving yourself. A really amazing, life-changing book called Existential Kink.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so
And
good.
so the same thing that makes us want to like be kinky, pull my hair, yada yada, is the same thing that makes self-loathing delicious and makes us tell these stories that like, oh, I'm such a victim. I look at me feeling everything, right? And so you have to identify like, okay, where's the kink in there? Where is it serving you to tell your stories of smallness, of sameness, of can't change, of victimhood? Like, where does that feel delicious and gratifying? Because if you can identify that, then you can pick the better story.
We made it a whole hour before we got to kink, and I'm proud of us. I have two jokes on this show and in my life. It's like, how long is it going to take before this gets around to sex? Or how long is it going to take before you blame it on capitalism? And it's like, we made it a really long time.
It's all a capitalism.
Yeah, that's the reason that we're more comfortable believing that we're small and nothing is possible for us is capitalism and white supremacy. So we can name that. That's fine.
Oh my gosh, these are my people. It's like, give me your big three, give me your human design, kink, capitalism, white supremacy.
And here you are.
Patriarchy,
And
patriarchy.
the patriarchy. God damn it.
Got all of them.
And
We
with
hit
that,
diet culture already, so
yeah,
we're
we
good.
hit, oh my God, we hit them all.
We're
Look at
doing
that.
good.
So we just solved humanity.
Don't humanity.
Solved humanity. We fixed it.
So real. So real.
Take deep breaths, stretch, tell yourself a nicer story, get out there and do something. Don't let the man keep you down.
That's it.
There we go. We solved it.
We did it all. Anoint yourself with potions.
And anoint yourself with potions before you go out there, right? Put protection oil on and then go fight the patriarchy.
Oh, that's the best.
Crystal, what a joy. What an honor. What do you have coming up? Where can people find you? Is there anything you want to plug? I know you said you're writing a book. When's it out? Where can they get it?
I'm writing a book. It will be out in probably a month on Amazon and on my website. So that's 12 Laws of the Universe. But people can follow me at Crystal the Oracle on Instagram. I'm working on like putting myself on other platforms, but right now I'm on Instagram. And what am I doing right now? Right now, I am preparing for the newest cohort coven of Oracle You. So if you want to trust yourself more, if you want to learn your intuitive gifts, if you want to be in my energy work for 6 weeks, learn energy work, meet your higher self, have access to my course, my 12 Laws of the Universe course, my capacity course, my human design course, and really do 6 weeks of beautiful focus in learning how to use your intuition. I'm telling you, it is the exact intuitive mentorship I would have wanted. You can join Oracle You. So follow me on Instagram and tell me you heard about me. We start March 3rd, so I don't know when this airs.
This will come out before that. Yeah, we'll put all the links for everything in the show notes. And then also like somewhere drop the skincare routine because if you're not watching this on video, Crystal is gorgeous and glowing.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm working on my skin. You know, we talk about, speaking of like being ourselves, you were talking about business owners starting, like they just don't know how to show up and that kind of thing. Most of the time, if you follow me on Instagram, most of the time I'm looking any kind of way. I'm in a robe. I never have makeup on. I realized pretty early that if I had to show up the way I thought I was supposed to, that I wouldn't at all. And that's when I just started doing. I've gone live from my bed in my angel bear pajamas, like anything goes as far as like appearances are concerned. So
I do that too.
I make a skin potion.
I do that too. And it's important because it's also about advertising, right? Like if I am always super polished in all of my stuff and then you show up on a call and I'm in sweats, you're going to be confused. You're like, I show up in a messy bun, like eating. I'm like, what's going on? Let's get into it. Like, I don't want you to be, it's not a bait and switch. Like,
you're not trying to catfish your clients, you know what I mean? Like,
I've had people tell me that my pictures and stuff are like too sexual and too slutty. And I'm like, so you think I'm hot? You just don't feel comfortable learning about business from hot girls. You can say it. That's a you problem.
I posted this thing that was like the kidnappers, like to me to the kidnappers, like, so why'd you choose me?
Be specific. Tell me in detail.
Am I a good girl? I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna stop recording, but me and Crystal are gonna keep talking. And thank you so much for being on the show. We are going to drop all of the links in the show notes. Thank you everyone for being here, and thank you, Crystal, for being here. Bye.
Thanks for having me.
That's our episode for today. Thank you, as always, for being here and for listening to the podcast. I know there are so many things that you could be doing with your time, so many things you could be listening to. It is an honor that you choose to be here. Connect with me on Instagram at Intuitive Edge Coaching. Have a great day.